And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the level 70 healer role quest in Final Fantasy XIV. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So as I'm now leveling up Sage, I decided to come back to the Crystarium to do this, because I never did it during Shadowbringers. So we are here in the Crystarium at 10:15. We need to talk to Giot. And the quest is called Traditions and Travails. So a hearty-looking dwarf stands before you, draining a flagon of ale, remarkably swiftly given the helmet. The gulp. So, don't you know better than to sneak up on a dwarf mid-flogon? Not even a proper greeting neither. Look here. The name is Giot. Lally-ho. See? Now that's a greeting. Lally-ho's aside, just who are you anyway? I dare say I'd remember someone like yourself if we'd ever meet one. If I ever meet. You're from the same strange land as the Crystal Exarch, you say? Well, well, well. He's an odd sort, the Exarch is. He knows things, right? And he's got some sort of mystical power. I suppose that you're the same, are you? Besides, because I could use someone with power, the likes of which the world has never known. I'm hunting sin eaters, you see. Well, one in particular. A healer, and not half bad at the job, eh? I like your confidence. And I wish I could take your word for it, since you sound like just what I'm looking for. But I have to ask you to prove it. There's no need for that. Listen here. The sin eater I hunt ain't your average abomination. You can't blame me for wanting to make sure that I'm not leading you to your grave. That would be bad for the both of us. So, you get yourself on over to the Forest of the Lost Shepherd, and we'll see what you've got. Fair enough. Okay, so let's catch up with Giot in the forest. Okay, so we caught up with Giot. So, ho, Mithrie, glad you found the place alright. Now for the prey. That'll do. Now I just take a deep breath and... Hey, your mother was a hobgoblin and you ain't much to look at, neither. Come here and face me, you craven shite. I mean, he could have just picked up a pebble and thrown it. That would have had the same effect. Lol. Ow. So, though Giot lies prone, the creature appears indisposed to cease its rampage. It seems that it will have to be dealt with. Funny. Let me summon my trusty Chocobo. Roll back up. let's talk to Geot. He's gonna think that he did it. See, that wasn't so bad. I reckon that I broke 3 or so ribs, or at least 1 femur there, but my bones feel fine now. Better than before, actually. And that beast gave you no trouble? Seems that you've just what I'm looking for after all. We can talk about the rest back at the Crystarium over a drink or 3. The folks at the Wandering Stairs know how to keep them coming. Meet me there. Alright, let's go back to the Crystarium. Okay, we made it back to the Crystarium, so let's talk to Geot. So gulp, 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 burp. There ain't nothing like a flog in a veil after a well-earned victory. You didn't do anything. Did you hit your head? Oh yes, and hard. The beast gave me a trouncing. Really exceeded my expectations, as did you. Ha. Whatever you want to call what we just did, doing it helped us to understand each other sure enough. I've seen that you're a masterful fighter, and you learned that I'm fearless as the stone. And so, a fellowship is forged. Now that I'm sure that you won't get yourself killed, I can tell you about the sin eater I'm after. It's one of the so-called cardinal virtues, sophrosin, and a nasty piece of work. Each of the virtues looks like one of those fools who brought the flood upon us, but this one takes after the worst of the bunch. Lamit, disgrace to all dwarven kind. Knowing that one of our own people was a warrior of light is bad enough, but Sophrisin being out there looking all dwarf-like, well, it don't help matters, accursed thing. The Council of Elders, they don't want to live with the shame of Lamit's sins no more. So the head of the council, the eldermost elder, stay with me here, gave me this job. Hunt down Sophrisin, slay it, see that I don't keep sullying our good name. Let's see, I'm our strongest warrior, so if anyone's going to do it, it has to be me. That's fine, I'm more than up for a contest of might. The problem I'm having, though, is that Sophrisin keeps healing itself, and, well, it's deeply annoying. I suppose it's because Lamit herself was some kind of master of art, but Sophrisin's healing is so powerful that no matter how hard I whack it, I can't leave a scratch. To make matters worse, it also flies around, carefree as you please, resurrecting other sin eaters. We'll be up to our eyeballs in them forever if we can't do something about those curative powers. That's where you come in, right? Yes. Lamit doesn't deserve your scorn, you know. Listen, I know that you have your own ways, and that's just fine. But whether you care much for dwarven honor or not, you have to agree that a sin eater that can raise its fellows from the grave is a danger to us all. As for Lamir, you should know that being a dwarf is about respecting tradition, and she never did, never. You might not have heard, but the tales say that Lamir roamed the land without her helm. She willingly showed her face to those who weren't kin. She knew full well that it would dishonor her and us all, and she did it anyway. Then there's the part about bringing down doom on all the world. Not one of our taboos, really, but it's generally frowned upon. And now she's back, face bare to the world, a sin eater. What could make a dwarf go so wrong? But we have ale to drink and sin eaters to hunt, in that order. You healed my body, sure enough, but I'll need a few more flagons to restore my vigor. And by a few, I mean about 100. Come and find me later. Cool. Cool. So the next quest will be at level 72. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys.